So, timestamps exist in case you just want to skip forward, because boy oh boy, and yes, my TP's full. I'm busy doing stuff, but we do need to get finished with this, and it's the same exact Musume that you've been seeing for the past, well, rest of this Libra Cup. But just for a quick overview, which is why timestamps exist. Here's my McQueen. Yeah, that's the win rate. Here is my Top Gun. Yep, that's the win rate. And yeah, could have done better training. I don't know if the next Champions meeting I'm going to be as prepared, which is to say, at least to a mediocre level. But well, we'll find out what happens here today, right now. This is recording. I think I'm recording this pretty much near when it opened, because I was busy doing something right before. Yeah, so as you can see from the timer above, basically when I started recording and when I got into the Champions meeting, when it opened, relative to when the final round opened, after the matchup process was completed. But yeah, as you can see, I really should be switching if I were training anymore. But at the same time, we have to prepare for the next Champions meeting anyway. So yeah, it's probably not likely I'm going to be switching regardless. So without further ado, yeah, that's proper. Yeah, that's proper. Little low power, but things can happen from what I've seen. Let me just make sure I'm going past this correctly. Here's a gold chip. Yeah, that's proper. Because even if your speed is not at 1200, funky things can happen at the final leg of the race. So, I mean, funny things can happen at the end of the race. And yeah, this is actually closer lobby to me than what I expected. So all things considered, I'll take it. Now, whether I'll win or not is a completely different story. So, without further ado, in a hot moment, we'll get into this, because if nothing else, maybe everyone misfires their stamina skills, or does not proc their stamina skills, and I managed to scrape by a win. So, without further ado, we'll go landscape mode for the purposes of this. For thumbnail's sake, I'll probably just do repeat runs, repeat recordings with portrait mode on, so I can do thumbnail stuff. Again, to keep repeating, the reason why I set it to portrait mode, set the races to portrait mode at times, is to grab stuff for timestamps, because of the angles that you get during portrait mode is different than what you would get from landscape mode. I'm pretty sure, right? There's no way I'm going crazy on this, right? Could be going crazy, but either way, we're filling time for the race to start because the game has to load. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Not really much to look at here. We'll get to the beginning of the race, and off we go. However, I do need to keep the arrows on. I would click it off, but since we have 3 Mayanos and 3 gold chips, the only one we'd be able to tell for sure would be, well, McQueen here, who is, I think everyone here is a late except for Major McQueen here. So maybe you just get really lucky with pace keeping and we just break out in front. This is kind of the distance we want to be at if no one rockets forward for the final leg, so that we can, so McQueen can get a win. But otherwise, after this, I don't think I proc Go Home Specialist, so I'm already sad. Mayano's Rush, if she doesn't proc either, well, now she needs to proc both stamina skills. She's going to drop to 9th. She's definitely going to drop to 9th. Otherwise, Gold Chip needs to proc Maestro, or we're dead here no matter what. McQueen is Rush too, and that's. Are we going to get 0.9% gaming? I think it's 0.9% for me, for all 3 of my Musume to get rushed here. But if everyone else, I haven't seen any other stamina recovery perks proc, so this is going to be a very funny final round if nothing else happens. But since I can't see if anyone else gets rushed either, well, here's hoping. So around this point, well, right now, McQueen could be procking Gourmand here. There's Swinging Maestro, Amazon, Hishiyama, procs Maestro, Cafe, both of my Umas proc Swinging Maestro, and then a gold chip. So keep that in mind as we move forward. Pretty much everyone who's not gold chip or Mayano looks good for the final leg of the race. As for my gold chip and my Mayano, I know they procced it, but our Mayano did get rushed, so I would like to get Breath of Fresh Air. McQueen needs to proc Gourmand as well, otherwise she will likely drop at the end of the race, depending on how the stamina is used. Because again, there is an uphill and there's a downhill. You could proc stamina stuff on the downhills, but whether or not that actually gets used up, well, we'll actually see. My gold chip rises to 3rd position. We don't actually want her there because we want her to pump iron, but if she stays up front and goes up front, that's fine. McQueen procking actually straight descent here into a long corners will grant her more, but as the gold chip shoots forward, yeah, that's not looking likely. There's straight descent. That's what I need for sure, but since she's not going to proc her unique, we're going to run into some trouble here. So yeah, this is looking really bad already. Maybe we catch up. We're a long A gold ship though, and everyone else I know is long S, so this is gonna look very sad. We need to proc us. We need to proc another mid skill to hope. Otherwise, bad things are gonna happen. As I mentioned earlier, Mayano and McQueen did get rushed, so they're gonna absolutely suffer here. And without further ado, unless we catch up here somehow, nope. We're going to grab third here and be on our merry way. So, without further ado, Manhattan Cafe actually getting the win there. Not that I was surprised. Again, I said everyone who was appropriate was going to be appropriate. So, let's see if if that's a real third place or if that we're actually second. Okay, we're second. Because the third trainer did not place fourth or higher. So, without further ado, yeah, this is how it looks. Not really much else to look upon here. We'll do a thank you for the race. And off we go. You'll notice that I say thank you if I don't win the race. That's just my version of courtesy here. So without further ado, we'll grab our rewards and go over kind of a last review here. Not really much to review on, though. I did want to train better, but I did make certain decisions that did not help me out. We'll just look at Goldship here because she's the star of the show. And she'll continue being the star of the show for at least 2-3 more the next CMs, if I recall. But yeah, pretty much smooth sailing. I mean, it was relatively smooth sailing, but actually, no, it wasn't because I failed the first tuning. This means, so I am missing at least 50 to 100 stats here due to losing this race. It's a lot. You lose a lot of stats for every turn you basically mess up on, particularly not winning your debut race and failing a training means that you've probably lost like 100 to 200 stats. That's how damaging a turn can, well, it's a turn, but really 2 or 3 turns can be, because then you have to recover, then you have to get the bonds that you weren't going to get, or you missed out on a rainbow training for whatever reason, or you gambled on like a 15% training that's a rainbow, and then you just missed it. Who knows, right? But that's kind of the comparison we're making as we go, as we move on here. But yeah, without further ado, yes, the only other thing to say for sure is that probably could have replaced Ignited Spirit 3 with something else, but I promise you, on top of Outer Post Proficiency, there was really nothing else. There was literally nothing else. So without further ado, yeah, that's gonna be the end of this. Not really much else to say. If you have anything to say, you know what to do. If you want to support me, you know what to do. If you don't want to support me, that's cool too. Otherwise, we're gonna sit here. You'll notice that I actually changed everyone to the school uniform, but we're back to Gold Ship because I have all of Gold Ship's conversation. But yeah, without further ado, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!